Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you the E is for ending tag. The alphabet soup book tag E is for ending, however that goes. I was tagged by the lovely Emily from Novelle Novels. I hadn't actually heard of this tag before, so I had to do a bit of digging around for like inspiration, but I now have some proper typed notes. Like, I put some thought into this because the questions are really hard. So let's hope I do this justice. Thank you for the tag, Emily. She's being super sweet and she is like tagging people whose channel she wants to big up a little bit, and I really appreciate that because yeah, just adorable. Thank you, Emily. But I'll stop rambling on. I'm gonna have to look at the notes because the questions are like quite long. The first one being E is for ending, a book with a great one and one whose ending sucked. So a book with a great ending, I've gone for Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. I'm gonna not give spoilers, especially on this question. This book is one of my favourite of all time. It's all tabbed and lovely and annotated. Love it. But this is about Zori and Lennon. It is a classic hate to love romance, like YA contemporary, and it's just amazing. Jen Bennett is my favourite author, so I had to pick this book. But yeah, I think this is a great ending without giving details, because it's like a love conquers all sort of story, but at the same time everyone gets what they deserve. And I don't really know what more I can say about that, but I feel like in a lot of YA contemporaries it'll be everything's perfect at the end, and everything is not necessarily perfect, but it's as it should be. So I think this is a really great ending to a book. One with a not so great ending, I've gone for The One by Kira Cass. I gave this book 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, but the ending was slightly upsetting to me. So this is the third book in the selection series, so obviously it's going to be really hard to not give any spoilers. Oh, thank you, Facebook, for that notification. So we spend 3 books building up to the wedding of Prince Maxon. That is the whole point of the selection. And then the wedding is a chapter, if that. And I wanted more from that. So even though I absolutely love this book, I feel like the ending was so rushed. It's only a little book. They could have just added a little chunk of the wedding, given me some like wedding scenes, but no. So that is one with a pretty sucky ending. So the next one is E is for elderly, a favourite or memorable elderly character. I really struggled with this one, so I went with something I read fairly recently, and that is The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, the elderly character being the professor that the children go and stay with. I absolutely love him as a character, because even like in the movie and the book, because this isn't a spoiler. If you don't want spoilers to Narnia, then please skip 30 seconds. But he fully believes that Lucy has been to Narnia, and his whole I can't remember his exact words, but when Edmund is saying Lucy hasn't been to Narnia and Lucy's saying she is, and he's like, oh, is Edmund normally the truthful one? And he like helps the older children see the lies. I don't know, I just think he's such a great character. And even though I didn't really love this book, the world of Narnia is still amazing. So he is the only elderly character I can think of. Next is E is for EU, your favourite contemporary writer from the EU, or one you'd like to try. So turns out I don't read a lot of English authors or anywhere in the EU, because everyone I was picking just to try and find somebody English and they were American. So that was weird, but one of my favourite books so far this year has been The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. Beth is, I want to say English, but O'Leary is not shouting English. She lives in England. O'Leary is not screaming English. Let's say she is from the United Kingdom, and that solves that. But yeah, this is one of my favourite books of the year. This is about Tiffy and Leon, who are not only sharing a flat, but sharing a bed to save money on the extreme rental prices in London. And it's just like a very cute adult romance thing. Loved it. Won't say more on that. An EU author I would like to try. I've actually just thought maybe I should have gone slightly more European. I'm pre-filming this video. who knows what would happen with our relationship with the EU. Moving on, an Italian author I really want to try. I've got The Piranhas by Roberto Saviano. This book I got in my A Box of Stories unboxing, so I will whack that in the description if you'd like to go and see that. But this is about like a child section of the mafia. Sounds really interesting. Wouldn't have picked it for myself, but got it from that unboxing, and I am genuinely excited to see where this goes. And it's a translated book, which I don't think I've ever read before. So yeah, I'm seriously intrigued. So the next one is E is for E, a writer you'd recommend whose first and or last name begins with an E. So I've gone for Shay Earnshaw, the author of The Wicked Deep. I don't really have that many reasons why. The Wicked Deep is seriously beautiful writing. I do really want to reread this book because I don't actually remember too much of the story. This is about a town where boys are drowned in the harbour every year. It's not even a harbour. Okay, so it's in a town where women used to be drowned as witches, like being accused of witches. So these women are coming back and drowning the teenage boys of the town once a year. Love it. And like, do they possess people? Yeah, they steal the bodies of 3 girls. It's genuinely amazing, and I need to reread it because I'm ashamed that I've struggled to remember what this is about. But the main thing I remember about this book is that the writing is beautiful, so would seriously recommend. So the next one is E is for exploration, a new writer, theme or genre you'd like to try. So I feel like I've tried most genres and themes, so I've gone with an author, and that author is Mila Gray. So Mila Gray has been recommended to me by my friend Sydney. So she really likes like a new adult romance, whereas it's not something I typically read, and she specifically suggested Watch Over Me by Mila Gray, which is about Zoe who meets an ex-marine called Tristan, and that's pretty much all I know. There are a couple more Mila Gray books she suggested to me, but that's the one that's like screaming in my head right now. So yeah, Mila Gray. Next is one I'm definitely going to say wrong, but I'm going to say it the way I heard it in Horrible Histories. It says E is for Et tu Brute, a book in which betrayal plays a central role. So I struggled with this one because I mainly read YA contemporary, and betrayal isn't normally like a key theme of contemporary, I guess. So I've gone for To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han, because this whole story is based upon the fact that Lara Jean's little sister Kitty betrays her trust and posts out love letters that Lara Jean has written to the 5 boys she has fallen in love with over her life, and that is like the driver for the story. So I guess that's betrayal, but yeah, I did struggle with that one. So the next one is E is for Exception, a book that you loved or really liked in spite of it containing what you almost always consider a fatal flaw. So I've gone for a book that I gave 5 stars, and it still pains me that I did that. And that is Forbidden by Tabitha Suzume. First of all, I'm going to have to reread this book and like fix these tabs because they are sticking out so far, and it's so irritating. This is the first book I ever tabbed. The fatal flaw of this book is that it is about incest, and incest in a way where you start to sympathise with the characters and you start to accept it, and you get mad at the world that they can't be together, but they really, really shouldn't be together. This book got 5 stars from me, not because of the theme, because of the way it made me feel. Like, incest is wrong, I don't think anyone needs to say that, but the way this book is written, it made you think maybe it's right in this situation, and you're like, no, of course it's not. But it was so powerfully written that it I don't even know how to explain it. It's so powerful. I would recommend it to people if you have a strong stomach, and you can do it. But yeah, I'm seriously gonna have to take these tabs out. They're very awful, but I'm pretty sure they're ones that are gonna start pulling off the ink when I pull them out. There we go. One has bit in the dust. That's my project after I finish this video, is to get rid of these tabs. And the next one is E is for E, a book title with lots of E's. The only one that was screaming at me from my shelves is Eleanor Oliphant is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. So in the whole title and the name there's only 6 E's, but this is screaming that there are lots of E's. Maybe it's just because the first letter starts with E. I have not read this. I'm not even sure what it's about, but a lot of people have read it in May for the mental health-a-thon, so I've seen it recommended by a lot of people, seen loads of people loving it. It's on my shelf, I will get to it eventually. Another one that's screaming at me is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. Still not really sure why. I don't have that many books with lots of E's in the title. That was a very hard question. The next one is E is for Ever Present, a book you read a really long time ago that has really stuck with you. And I've gone for Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly. So I read this book, I cannot remember when. It was a long time ago. I got it out of the library and fell in love with it. This is it's like a dual time story. So I'm going to just check I don't get anything wrong because it has been a long time. This is about Andy, who lives in present day New York and is dealing with the aftermath of her brother's accidental death. And then we go to Alexandrine, who lives in Paris and is desperately trying to save a young boy from the ravages of the French Revolution. It's so good. Like, this is definitely not my cup of tea. I don't like historical fiction, but this book is genuinely just gorgeous. So yeah, I read it years and years ago. It's got to be like 2012. I want to say, when did it come out? It came out in 2010, so 2012 could be about right. And then I reread it not even last January of 2018. So yeah, this is seriously amazing. I bought a copy and gave it to Brittany so she can read it. Maybe I'll ask her if she wants to buddy read it at some point. Maybe this could be a book club book, who knows? So good, and I would recommend to everybody. So the last one, well, one before the last, is E is for Eliminate, a group of books you got rid of or want to and why. So I very recently did an unhaul, so I will link that video in the description because I'm not picking more books off my shelf. But 2 books that featured in my unhaul were The 1000th Flaw and The Dazzling Heights by Catherine McGee. I tried to get into these books, I've never read them, and every time I picked up the first book, The 1000th Flaw, I probably didn't get past the first page, so I decided it was time for both of those books to vacate my shelves. Okay, so the last thing to do is tag everyone. It says E is for everyone, tag extensively. And I wouldn't say I've gone extensively, but I have picked 3 people to tag in this video. I've gone for Connor from Connor's Library Corner, Mal from A Book Fiend Named Mal, and Sarah from Septimus Snape. So I have got in contact with all of them before and asked if it was fine to tag them because I feel like this is quite a difficult tag to do. So yeah, I've tagged those 3 people and I really hope they do this video. But for now, that is it from me. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it and I will see you in the next one.